Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Today I am back with my friend BethAnne, who has been here before.
I have.
We did an unboxing.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
It was fun.
Good socks.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
excited to wear them when it gets colder.
I know. I wear socks all the time. My feet are always cold. I love socks. So, BethAnne, being the good friend that she is, has decided to help me try and read those books that are on my TBR that I keep pulling out of my bowl every month. So, a couple weeks back, I gave her a stack of 3 books to read off of that TBR shelf And she's going to read them and review them for me and let me know if I should read them or maybe just pass on them or help me form an opinion. So hopefully I'll be more motivated to read the book.
Yeah, we're going to see how well I know Steph and what she likes in reading books. So we'll see.
We'll see. It should be very, very fun.
Yeah.
So the first book we're going to talk about is
Dear Killer by Catherine Ewell.
This is one I got in a book box like 5 or 6 years ago. It sounded good. So what is the premise of this book?
So it is about Kit. And she is the notorious perfect killer. So she is basically an assassin. So people write to her anonymously and pay her money, and they put it in a spot that only she knows where to go. And then she reads them and she picks the one she's gonna do. Lots of people write to her, but she doesn't like do all of them. And it's just kind of about her story about how she's living a double life because she's a teenager. She goes to high school. And so it's kind of like her journey of how she is the perfect killer and trying not to get caught, but also live a normal teenage life. And yeah.
So are there like P.O. boxes out and about where you can order to have people killed?
No.
Have I not been on Facebook Marketplace?
Actually, it's in a bathroom stall in like some little dinky like coffee shop or something. Like it's behind like a loose tile or something only she knows about.
That sounds
I don't know.
clean.
It's a
Well,
bathroom
her and
stall.
all the people who write their letters.
And like boys and girls go into this stall, and it's like in the girls' bathroom. So I'm like,
Interesting.
Okay. So,
All right. So what did you rate this?
I rated it like a 1.5.
That is not a good rating. Why don't you tell us your thoughts and feelings on the book?
Okay, so disclaimer, I have to say she was like, the author was like 17 when this was written. I think she like submitted it into some writing contest or something and she won. I will have to say for like a 17-year-old writing this book, it has a lot of good parts. It has a good bone structure to it. A lot that was not great about it too. Like,
Was it more the writing that wasn't great, or was it more?
yeah, it was the writing and some of the character development. I felt like there was a lot of exposition. It was like in a book that should be very suspenseful and like action packed and kind of like intriguing and mysterious. It was kind of dull. Like there was like only moments of action and then there was like a lot of exposition. And the ending of the book,
Did it leave you
super
wanting?
crappy. Like it just was not great.
Was it like rushed or just not well thought out?
I just felt like she didn't know what she wanted to do with the main character, because I felt the main character, Kit, was very wishy-washy too, and very kind of whiny, and just like the way she wanted to portray this character as the perfect killer did not really come across, especially at the end, because I'm going to spoil it for you. So if you want to try to read it and see for yourself,
I'll turn this gray. When we're done spoiling, it'll go back to color.
So, the end of the book. So, Kit's supposed to be this perfect killer, right? Like, at the end of the book, she basically befriends this girl that she's going to kill that's in her class. She decides to kill her at this girl's Christmas party that she invited her to because they become BFFs.
Like you do.
She's called the perfect killer because she never leaves any evidence other than the note that the person wrote her to ask to kill this person. She never leaves behind any evidence or any traces. Like, the cops have no idea. Other stupidly thing is she befriends the head cop and I think kind of has a romantic crush on him, and she's a teenager and he's like 25 or something, which is weird. And I mean, I kind of get it. It's like keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer kind of thing, but it gets to a weird kind of relationship thing. And then she buys this girl that she's going to the Christmas party a Christmas gift. And she tells the cop friend about it. obviously. Very out of character, she decides that night not to take the Christmas present with her because she's like, why does the girl need the Christmas present? I'm gonna kill her anyway. So she goes to the party without the present, kills the girl, and leaves. And lo and behold, her cop friend shows up, knew she was there, and then puts 2 and 2 together that she didn't drop off the present, and he figures it out. And then the way the book ends, she basically like fights with him and then tries to kill him, but then she doesn't, and then she just ends up turning herself in, and it's just bad. Like,
so question then, did they ever discuss how she learned? Did they go into depth with the killing scenes? Was it like horror at all?
No, there were like, I think only...
Does she like shoot people or stabby or...
Like there was, I think, only one or 2 scenes. Yeah, there were only 2 scenes where you actually saw, like, read about how she killed the people. When she killed her best friend, the girl at the Christmas party, you don't even know how she does it. They're just out in the backyard, and then it cuts to her walking away, and she's done the deed. And I don't know. I would have been, like, way more intrigued if, like, it was much more, like, James Bondy kind of as... I don't know, but something.
It's a very clean James Bond. Okay, where'd she learn how to kill people?
So her mother... Yeah, her mom was a killer, so then she trained her daughter to be a killer. And
is your mom still a killer?
No, she, like, retired, so she, like, passed off the gauntlet to her daughter. It's just bad. Like, I mean, if you like it, you want to read it and you want to try it, great, and tell us if you like it, but I did not. And I usually am very kind to books, and I give them a lot of shot.
I am.
And it took every ounce of me to just finish it.
So I don't think I'm going to be reading this one, guys.
No.
I think this one is going to go elsewhere. So, alrighty. So the next book that BethAnne read.
Next book is Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. This is about a girl named Elin. I might butcher these names because they're Viking, and so I don't know exactly how they're pronounced. And she lives in the Aska clan, and there's a rival clan called Reiki. So these 2 clans fight regularly. They have like a fighting season. And nobody really understands why they are continuing this tradition, like why it's happening. It's just, but it's like one of those things that's like, well, it's been going on for years, so
we do it.
So we do it. Like
every spring.
That's what we do.
That's
like, that's part of our culture. That's what we do. We kill each other. Well, anyway, during one of these battles, her brother supposedly dies. And it's not a spoiler. Well, she finds out that he's alive, but he's fighting for the enemy clan. So it's basically, she then, during said battle, goes after him, because, like, why wouldn't you? If
you go after him to talk to him or to kill him?
No, to, like, be like, what the heck? Why are you alive? Like, are you real? Like, also, I think she was like, are you real, or is this, like, a ghost? So then she ends up getting kidnapped by her brother, for reasons you will find out in the book. So it's about her journey of how her perspective changes about the tradition and the rivalry between the clans, and it is an amazing book. I like read this in like 3 days.
And it's a standalone.
And it's standalone, which is kind of a bummer because I would love if there was more with this, but it ends well. Like,
you rated it what? A 5-star?
I think 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah, it was high because I like devoured it in like 3 days.
So good writing.
Oh yeah.
Good character development, good plot. There weren't a lot of slow parts.
No, there was never a slow part because it was always intriguing.
So I think I like this one.
Oh yeah, I think you would definitely like this one.
Okay.
I think you would enjoy it.
And I got this in a book box as well, years ago, and I've just never read it. Last book.
All Are Wrong Todays by
Ilan Mastari. I keep calling it All the Wrong Tomorrows.
Yeah,
it's not.
I've called it that, but it's Today's.
It's Today's.
So, like, if you were a fan of The Martian, the book The Martian,
I liked it.
It's very kind of Martian-esque in writing. Like, there's a lot of humor to it. Like, because it's not like journal entries like The Martian, but it is kind of. It's like this dude writing his autobiography. So it's this dude named Tom, and he lives in the year 2016. Like, but it's a futuristic year. Like, not like our 2016. Like this futuristic. Like there's flying cars. Like they've invented time travel. Like all this kind of stuff. And it's all based on this scientist guy who invents this engine, which basically propels things into the sci-fi future. In his 2016, he's kind of a screw up and he's not that great. His mom, very intelligent. She was a novelist. She was a literacy professor or something. And his dad is a brainiac scientist who invented time travel. And in this book, I
don't want to fill those shoes.
Right? It's not like your typical time travel. It's based off of the radiation timeline that this engine creates. So they are training, I can't remember what they call them, but they're kind of like astronauts, but they call them something else to deal with time travel. And he becomes one of these trainees because his dad, I just feel sorry for him. And Tom, the screw up, falls in love with another astronaut named Penny. And things happen. And let's just say, because of said girl, he ends up going back, using the time machine to go back in time, and he screws everything up. And he comes back to the future, 2016, but it's like our 2016.
So it's like an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
No flying cars.
No, flying cars. Basically our 2016. This book is all about him trying to fix his mistake and get back to the 2016 he's originally from. All Our Wrong Todays is actually a really good book. It's fun, it's witty, it's funny. So if you enjoyed, as I said, The Martian kind of esque, that this kind of reminded me of that in its writing style.
And you rated it?
I think a 3.5. Because as I said, there are, I feel some slow bits. But overall, I enjoyed it.
Well, and that one's an adult one. And this one is YA. So usually YA is not going to have slow parts. I mean, if it's halfway decent YA, it's not going to have slow parts. That one's YA, but it had slow parts. So this one might have had some slow parts because sometimes the adult novels do. So if you were to say the one that I need to read first, yes, I figured you were going to say that. So I'm excited. So I will be reading this over the next month. So a month from when it's released, the day that this video is released, within 30 days of that, I will read this.
She'll read it in 3.
Maybe sooner.
Maybe sooner.
She might have more time. She told me she liked it. She didn't tell me anything else about it. She told me she liked it. And I was like, I want to read it now that she likes it because we have similarly enough tastes in books. Do you think I will like the All Our Wrong Todays?
I do, because I know you like The Martian.
I do. I like time travel books. Yeah.
And I think you'll like this.
So I've already picked up 3 more books, and we're going to do this again. Not really a timetable, just whenever she can read them. BethAnne is a kindergarten teacher. So she loves her kindergarten students. She loves teaching.
I do.
But if for some reason we go back into quarantine.
Because of the last quarantine, I read a lot of books.
She did do that.
So
she did. We hung out during quarantine. We had fun in quarantine times. So I picked 3 books. The first one I picked is Pearl Thief. And this is by Elizabeth Ween. Or Ween. I'm not really sure which is Ween or Wen. She's British. She does YA historical fiction is what she does. So I don't know exactly what it's about, but the cover's beautiful. So I got it because I read Codename Verity by her a few years ago, and I loved it. So I bought all the books she's written. I also grabbed A Study in Scarlet Women by Sherry Thomas. I have not read this. I have read Sherry Thomas, but I've never read this one. And this is roughly a Sherlock Holmes in the world of Sherlock Holmes, and she's his daughter, I think, something like that. And it's an adult novel, so I think it's supposed to be a little racy. I'm not really sure about that. And then Kiss of Deception is by Mary E. Pearson. And this is a series, but this one is a series as well. So I might get you hooked in a few series. I don't think Pearl Thief is. I think it's technically the first, a 0.5 in a book series. But I think you don't have to read that one because I think it comes before Codename Verity, but I don't think it's attached to it. But this one's a series too. Kiss of Deception. It's about a girl who's a princess who's supposed to marry a prince. So you have her point of view. You have the prince's point of view, and then you have an assassin's point of view who's trying to kill her. But you don't know which guy is the assassin and which guy is the prince. That's the twist.
Oh.
And then I think the next...
I hope it's not like Damsel.
Oh, Damsel sucked. That was so bad. I was one of the worst things I've read. Anyway, so these are the books that I have for her to read over the next month or whatever. And then when those get done, I'll pick 3 more. We'll talk about them. And then she'll pick one for me to read right away. So... I think that's everything. If you've read any of the books we talked about today, whether it's
comment below
one of the ones that she read or one of the ones she's going to read, by all means, comment down below with your thoughts on said books. We would love to know.
Especially if you've read Dear Killer I'd love to know your thoughts if you hated it as much as I did, or if you actually liked it. Because if you did, I would love to know why you liked it, which is totally fine, but it was not my cup of tea.
It's not that popular. I don't know. I've never heard of anybody else reading it. So I'm like... So that's everything we have. Comment down below. Feel free to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Let me know if you've read these books. And I will talk to you guys very soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.